Welcome back. We are heading into an expiry in the next 1.5 hours. So let's get a check with Manoj Muralidharan, AVP of Derivatives at IIFL Premier. Thanks a lot for joining us, Manoj. First, your thoughts on what this expiry is going to be looking like. Do you expect any volatility in the next half an hour or hour?
Well, precisely, yes. If you're talking about volatility, we feel that we are moderately bullish on the Nifty and from the current 6070 levels, and I specifically feel that the expiry can be at 6100 odd levels, somewhere precisely around 6112 levels. Now, specifically, we might see a VWAP based buying coming in the last half an hour like we've been witnessing in the last 4 months. So possibly because we have another 2,800 odd crores for the market in terms of value to come in, and around 200 odd crores in the Nifty futures as well. Well, if you see, we've been seeing good buying in the Nifty futures as well as 6,000 call options. So certainly all this says that we might see the Nifty expiry in another hour at around 6,112 levels precisely.
Okay. Any logic to the 6112, Manoj?
Yeah, absolutely. Lata, as I mentioned, because market-wide rollover usually as of expiry is somewhere around 84%. If you see, if you take the average of around 3 months, it is around 82%. And the Nifty is somewhere around 72%. And we started the day on a very low note. The Nifty had hardly rolled around 48%, and the market was around 68 odd percent. Now, what ideally we feel is because the roll cost, what is happening in the market right now, even if you look into the Nifty, the roll cost is quite high. It's somewhere around 63 bips. And ideally, since last couple of days when institutions and investors have been going long on the Nifty futures, and even the constituents of the Nifty 50, they have been facing this hurdle of a large roll cost. So they've been waiting for some dip to come in, wherein rather they might go ahead and do their long rollovers, which as of now precisely has not much happened. Usually we don't see this wide gap coming in. So possibly the last half an hour, because that is exactly where the VWAP count comes in, and the Nifty closes at the average price at the from 3 to 330. So possibly they might definitely go in for a VWAP buying to roll over their counters. Because with this January season coming in and more or less in line, the results to be in line with the expectations, they would definitely want to go ahead and roll their position. So that can ideally give around 48 to 52 odd points rally on the Nifty from this point.
Indeed, Manoj. So, I mean, given that there has been a lot of call writing at 6100 as well, would that have a larger ramification in the January season? I mean, what I'm trying to get at is we formed a base at 6,000 for sure because of what's happened with the put writing at 6,000. What do you think will be the level for the January series, the upside level?
Okay, let me put it this way. Ideally, we started this contract with the highest open interest in the 5,800 puts and with the 6,000 call. Now, what usually on any expiry, we don't see the highest call and the put accumulation being so near to just a 200 strike difference. So later on in Jan, we've been seeing good amount of put writing, as you said, in the 6,000 strikes, and there has been a lot of unwinding which happened in the last 7 trading days in the 6,000 call series for the Jan as well. If you specifically see in index options as well, there have been neat buying of around 2,700 crores, and specifically that was into 6,100 call and 6,200 calls. So now the open interest, we feel possibly after this expiry, the highest built up would be somewhere around 6,000 put, and that can go all the way to 6,300. Now, having said this, looking into the volatility also, the 30 days historical volatility has been sliding from the 22% and it is down to around 18 odd percent. We feel it can slide further down to 13%. And definitely volatility being inversely proportional to the way the market reacts, we feel Nifty can definitely go and we might see a new high possibly in the 3rd week of Jan or the early Feb. Because I'd like to add one more thing. The value at risk which is prevailing in the system, in the indices right now, is more or less in line with what we had after the Jan 2008 fall. So ideally we don't have much leverage position, because that we saw squaring off of large leverage position in the last couple of months. So precisely we feel this is where a bottom has been formed at 57 odd levels. We had around the last fortnight, and possibly Nifty can go to 64, 66 levels the Jan last week or the first week of Feb.
Okay, that's going to be a very good New Year gift, Manoj, for everybody who is listening to you, at least those who are trading on the long side. But some specific stocks, if you can enlighten us, where do you see volatility on the upside or on the downside in the next 1 hour? Where are you seeing the pressure points before rollovers?
Okay. Well, Lata, to answer this, I specifically feel if we look into today's intraday chart as well, the Nifty has been moving up at around 20 odd points, but the VIX, the volatility index, has been giving a spike as well. Usually this doesn't work in tandem. So what ideally happens is an up move in the Nifty followed with a rise in volatility definitely says that the move won't sustain. But off lately, if you see in the first half an hour of the trade, we saw the volatility dip to around 3.5% odd. And we've been seeing good buying in the 6,000 call and the 6,100 call. So we feel the volatility might not come in till say somewhere 2:45 to 3 o'clock, wherein the VWAP would start. And definitely that would go out with a linear up move on the Nifty, as I mentioned, to around 48-50 points. And the expiry can precisely be around...
No, I meant stock-wise, Manoj. I meant stock-wise, if you have any leads on where we can expect, where investors or rather traders should be focusing.
Correct. Now, to answer this, Lata, if you see, Bank Nifty hasn't been rolling much, because we've been seeing the Bank Nifty has just rolled around 61% ideally. And it has an average of around 70 to 72% odd. And the ICICI Bank, which has the highest weightage in the Bank Nifty, definitely we feel would be one of the VWAP based buying counters, and followed by PNB. So possibly, to answer your question, ICICI Bank and PNB would be the stocks wherein we can see VWAP based buying in the last half an hour of the trade.
And HDFC Bank, here the near month futures have a position. I mean, the OI is 1.5, 2 times of the cash market volumes. So could that see some kind of a VWAP selling?
Not really, because if you just see, the VWAP concept works on this, basically that there is some delivery based cash position which is already taken in. Let's say precisely from the 12th of December, if you see the funds flow, they've been not investing more into the cash market. Ideally, they are trying to generate beta on their portfolio, because if you see last 8 to 10 months, majorly the money which has come into the Indian market is through index funds, more or less. And we have seen the Nifty rally up so much. So now this last fortnight of this year, we've been seeing a lot of beta strategies. That is, they are involving a lot of option strategies in the index, as well as stock-specific scripts. And needless to say, Jan would be the first month wherein the stock option, which is still now an American option, would go and be a European option. So that is a big move as well. So we feel VWAP-based selling won't come into HDFC Bank. Rather, we would see cash-based buying coming in, and that can take the Bank Nifty up to around 11,700 and more than that.
Okay, that's a major trend reversal. Thanks a lot for joining us, Manoj Muralidharan. It was a pleasure listening to you. Take a break. We have to get back to some kind of mid-cap spotting and management speak. We will have M. Radhakrishnan, the Joint Managing Director of Autoline Industries, joining us.